Hey guys, spring is here. The bass are getting on the beds, at least where I am here in Texas, and they should be all over the country here in the next few months. Some places they're already done spawning. So we're going to take a look at bed fishing. And it's a controversial way to fish, and a lot of people do it this time of year because it's a primary way to catch some really big bass. But I want to get into bed fishing because it's such a visual technique and you can learn so much by watching fish, and it's a good way to learn bass behavior and learn how to catch them. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I've already taken some bed fishing videos to show you some behaviors of the bass, and I'm going to do a series of videos on this to show you the bass behavior through the certain stages of the spawn, and also some techniques and strategies that I do to help catch some fish, because they don't always bite on the first try. And just being out there and watching the fish, you can a lot of times figure out how they're going to react to your bait, or if they're going to even react at all, but what you need to do to catch them. So let's get right into it and take a look at some of the fish. Alright guys, we're going to look at two different fish in this video. They're both males. Now, one is waiting on a female to come in, the other one's already had a female come in. But this fish right here, this is what I like to call a circler. You know, he's not really committed to this bed. He doesn't have a female in there yet, doesn't have a partner. And he's just going to circle around the bed. He's not being very aggressive at all. You know, at first I'm just dragging this jig through there. You know, just kind of giving it a couple of hops. And he's doing wide circles around the bed. He's not threatened by this jig that I'm throwing. You know, he's starting to get kind of agitated, but he's not going to bite it. He's nowhere near biting this thing. So I have to do something to make this fish bite. And what I'll start doing is I'll do aggressive hops through the bed. Aggressive hops, just short little strokes of the rod tip. And what that does is it doesn't give the fish a long time to look at it. It makes them confused and it surprises them. And when they get surprised, they react. A great way to do this is to really look at the bass in the water, see the angle where they're lined up, and cast from their dorsal fin or to their dorsal fin or their caudal fin, which is their tail, and just hop it over. They feel it in their lateral line, but they can't really see it too well because it's behind them, and they just react to it. So as you can see, I'm hopping it now. The circles are getting tighter and tighter, and that's when you know something's about to happen. He's about to bite it. Bam. Just happened right there. Gave it a quick hop through there, and he had to react to it. His little peanut brain just couldn't handle it. And of course it looks like a crawfish. That's the motion that they swim in, so it kind of just makes sense for him. Here he is again. He's just staring. So I'm going to hop the jig really quick through there. Boom. He just nipped at it. That wasn't a full strike. He just nipped at it because I didn't really get a good pop on it. But here we go again. Good pop. He eats it. Now I could have set the hook right there. You know, I could have caught this fish, but I wanted to show you a few strikes to, you know, just show you how they react. There it is again. Slow-mo. So we'll give him one more shot to eat it, and then I'll go ahead and set the hook. Again, tight circles. Fish is just totally committed to the bed now, and he's defending it. So there we go. Now the next fish, it's a little bit different. I want you to look at the grass around here. You see those little tiny yellow balls? Those are eggs. So the female's already been there. This bass is committed. I'm going to throw a jig in there again, and he is defending this nest hard. He's going to react to this bait as soon as I throw it in there. There he is, nose down. Bam. Nose down, he eats it. Actually just behind the hook. If you watch it in slow-mo again, it's just behind the hook. He eats the pinchers, which happens a lot. Every bed has a sweet spot. And if you analyze and watch long enough, you can kind of figure out what that is or where it is. I know that it's right there where you see those eggs, so I keep throwing there repeatedly shaking that jig, shaking it violently in there. The fish is getting agitated, but it's recognized the jig now. It knows that it's not supposed to be there, but it's seen it so many times that he's kind of just familiar with it. So when this happens, you have to go to a different technique, and it's good to have a couple of different rods ready to go. So when that fish starts getting accustomed to that bait, you can make a quick switch and keep the confusion going and make them react to it and be surprised when there's another bait. Usually it happens as soon as you switch. So what I'm about to go to is a totally different technique, and it's a non-threatening technique, and that is a drop shot. And basically with this drop shot, I'm using a tiny little LFT live magic shad or live baby shad, and it's just going to come up there and suck it in, just breathe it in. And this is a totally different technique on a different behaving bass. So we get two different looks from two different fish and study their behaviors. Well, there you have a little bit of bass behavior. Like I said, I'm going to do some more of these videos to show you different techniques and other behaviors. So stay tuned for that. One thing I do need to mention is you need a good pair of polarized sunglasses to be able to see these fish. I like to use Oakley's. They are my favorite lens. They make the best lens in my opinion. And make sure that you get a lens that lets in a little bit more light than you normally would on your regular sunglasses. So one that's a little bit darker, like an amber lens. My favorite one from Oakley is the shallow blue. And also choose a frame that comes over and covers this blind spot right here, I like to call it, of your eye. So it blocks out all the light from the outside. Like when I put these glasses on, it's blocking a lot of the other light. What that does is it helps you focus your vision and block out that extra light coming in from the side and gives you the optimal picture on that fish. So sharpen your hooks, be quick, and catch them. See you guys next time.